I've always been the golden child in our family until my sister wrote a book that dropped the truth our parents couldn't ignore. I'm Jeff, and I've always been the golden child in my family. My younger sister Claire was always overlooked and even forgotten by our parents. As a small kid, I didn't know that she wasn't treated the same as me, but by 7 or 8, I was noticing the differences. On my birthday, I'd have a big cake, a huge party, expensive presents. The celebrations would go on for a few days. When it was Claire's birthday, she'd get a card with a $30 gift voucher for Walmart or Target. No cake, no party, no friends over, no big restaurant dinner. Christmases were no different. I'd get stacks of presents, expensive ones. Usually my entire Christmas list was wrapped under the tree. And Claire would get a gift card, maybe some clothes, and a book she had never expressed any interest in. My gifts were thoughtful and hers were mindless, like our parents didn't know her at all. Claire wrote about our childhoods and how they differed. She wrote about the resentment that had been building not just towards my parents, but towards me. She wrote about golden children and forgotten children, about how the golden child can sometimes become the caretaker without meaning to, because they're the only one who sees the sibling being overlooked. She wrote about how difficult it is for a child to understand that love can be uneven and unfair without having the words to describe the feelings. She didn't write with anger. She wrote with a raw honesty that touched me. She remembered little things I hadn't thought about in years. How our parents always asked me what restaurant I wanted to eat at, and how I'd privately ask her where she wanted to go. So when we got in the car and our parents waited for me to choose, I said her restaurant. I didn't say it was her idea, I just said it, and they took us. I started trying to close the gap our parents created by just seeing Claire. On her birthday, I'd go to her room with her favorite cupcake, a little candle in the top, and I'd sing her happy birthday. I'd always find a couple of small presents I could wrap up, and I'd usually get her a gift card to the bookstore she loved. I got pocket money for doing nothing. Claire didn't. So I saved mine for her. I knew I could have whatever I wanted just by asking, and it wasn't the same for Claire. She and I are in our 30s now. We have our own lives. She's a psychotherapist and specializes in childhood trauma. She works with adults who are trying to understand the homes they grew up in and the effects they had. When she first phoned to tell me that she was writing a book, I fully supported her. She grew up writing stories, and even though she rarely spoke much, she had a way with the written word that could leave a reader in tears. This book is her first, and it blew me away. I am so proud of her. Our parents, on the other hand, did not react well. They left Claire horrible voicemails, flooded her email, and sent a slew of texts. Most of their messages to her are accusatory. They deny everything. They're insulting. You're twisting things. You're making us look horrible. We always did our best. You need to take it all back. You're embarrassing us. Everyone thinks we're terrible parents. The messages they leave for me are, of course, different. She trusts you. Tell her to stop. You can make her stop this nonsense. You know it wasn't like that. You were there. You know how well we treated you both. You owe us this. We did everything for you. Son, how could you let her say these things about us? She's lying to the world. The book didn't create this distance. It just exposed it. She wrote about her experiences in the book, the good, the bad, and the heartbreaking. She wrote about how children try to mend the holes that adults leave, how a child shouldn't have to do that, the resentment she felt towards us all, and the grief she felt. There's a section in the book that made me just put it down and sit quietly for a while. She wrote, I was overlooked, but I was not alone, not because of our parents, but because my brother watched, and he did what he could. He shouldn't have had to, but I'm grateful he did. Claire and I talk often, sometimes about the book, sometimes work, sometimes nothing in particular. Our relationship is steady. It's not fragile, it's consistent. She knows she has a safe family in me. Our parents still call. They insist they loved us equally, that we're misremembering. They still refuse to consider that they neglected a child who needed them. For the time being, we've both gone basically no contact with our parents. I'm in therapy now too, trying to detangle the feelings I have. I didn't understand the role I played in Claire's feelings, not in early childhood or even really later. I saw the unfairness and wanted to fix it, not knowing the impact I was having. Claire and I have talked about her resentment towards me as young kids and how I undid some of that, and she recognizes that she placed feelings on me that actually belonged to our parents. I see I shouldered a responsibility that didn't belong to me. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't just overlook my sister too. I could have been swallowed up in the glory my parents placed on me, got swept away with it, and lost Claire in the process. While it was never my job to make up for our parents' shortcomings, by seeing the unfairness, I was able to shine a little bit of light in Claire's otherwise pretty dark childhood. I couldn't be more proud of her if I tried. She might be my little sister, but she is mighty. If you enjoyed this reading and want to hear more, please subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Please hit the like button and check out our playlist of funny stories, stories about unhinged people, or tales of nightmare neighbors. You'll find those lists and many more at our channel. This has been Tales by Rachel, where we breathe life into every story.